Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, just announced that they have final approval from the New York Department of Financial Services for Ripple's stablecoin to be listed on different exchanges. And in this video, we have to discuss how that will affect the price of XRP for people that think it's just going to send it to the moon immediately when RLUSD gets listed. On top of an interview with Brad Garlinghouse talking about what's going to happen December 13th that virtually nobody is ready for. On top of what Uphold CEO is saying about RLUSD being traded to gold, the XRP to the Bitcoin price chart and where we are on the weekly candles with the relative strength index, what this is going to mean for the XRP to the US dollar price chart in the short term on the hourly, compared to Bitcoin going all the way back to the past, and some similarities we're seeing play out right now on the chart that could lead us into an absolute explosion within the next 1 to 2 weeks if this plays out as expected. So if you guys like seeing what's happening on the charts, you are going to absolutely love this video. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and if you are going to become the first millionaire in your family tree in 2025, confirm it by tapping the subscribe button. Let's run it.
Hey bull runners, this is super time sensitive, especially if you're looking to stack more crypto before the bull run is over. Did you know that Visa and MasterCard lost a $5.5 billion class action lawsuit for imposing unfair fees on merchants and business owners? So if you own a business, or if you know any business owners that process payments with Visa or MasterCard between 2004 and 2019, that's 15 years, you could actually be owed a refund of 1 to 1.5% of your total revenue from that period. That's a lot of money. For example, this business that generated 1.6 million in credit card revenue during those years is getting back $28,000. This business that generated over 7 million is getting back $93,000. And this business that generated over $20 million during those years is getting back over $320,000. That's money they didn't even know was on the table. And all they did was fill out a form through the link below this video. It literally takes less than a minute to see if you qualify, but you don't want to wait too long because the deadline to file is February 4th, 2025. So the sooner that you fill out the form below, the sooner that you can reclaim what's rightfully yours. Plus, if you don't have a business, you can actually earn 3% by referring businesses that do qualify by creating your affiliate account through the link below. So this is a no-brainer way to get money back in your pocket to use for your business, or if you want to use it for crypto or other assets to invest in, you can do that. So click the link below. Let's get you paid.
All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So it's been a pretty crazy week of liquidations of the crypto market. You know, a lot of projects dropping 10, 15, 20, 25%. Some projects are up big time. You can see MOG is up 41%, Hype is up 43%, XDC is up 24% the past week. But if we zoom out over the past month, virtually everything is up. You know, the ISO projects are absolutely crushing it, with Algorand up 190, XRP up 290, HBAR up 400+%, XLM up 280%. So in this video, we have a lot to talk about. The first thing is, what's interesting to me is the 60-minute episode that I covered in the previous video and how big of a hit piece that was. Came out, XRP's price dropped, Bitcoin liquidated a lot of leveraged long traders, and then right after that, now Brad Garlinghouse is coming out and saying that they now have approval for the listing of RLUSD, and XRP's price pumped. So right when we saw that sell-off, I made this post inside of Altcoin Pro University that you can check out through the link in the description below on the XRP to the US dollar price chart for the hourly. When XRP broke below the support at roughly $2.20, it was back testing this ascending support and also the horizontal support that was resistance at the tail end of November before it broke through and formed the high of the year. But simultaneously on this sell-off, you guys can see the relative strength index, if I go ahead and I move my camera, was all the way down at 23. And the last two times that the relative strength index was at those levels was on the 5th of December and the 24th of November. And you can see the vertical yellow dashed lines on the price chart as well too, to see what happened after that. So when we get into oversold territory on the RSI, especially on the hourly chart, what this tells us is that the momentum has shifted rapidly depending on what time frame candles we're on. In this case, in the upper left, you can see where it says 1H. XRP, the US dollar, and Bitstamp 1H, that means 1 hour. And so we saw a bounce right here after the 24th of November, and then another back test of that low. Same thing happened right here on the 5th of December. We saw a bounce, another back test, bounce, another back test, rebound off of it, and then we crash below support, back to the previous one, and then we see the RSI at these lower levels. And so in the post I said, with the RSI dropping below 20 signaling extreme oversold conditions, if you observe those vertical yellow lines, you'll notice if XRP can hold that current zone, I anticipate a potential rebound with the RSI climbing back above 20 to confirm the recovery. Now, also, if the support failed to hold, then further liquidations to the downside to flesh out over leveraged longs before resuming the broader uptrend. Both of those things happen. So we saw a bounce right here from this support, and we saw resistance back at this level, and then a quick flash liquidation below the ascending support, and then a continuation back up to this descending resistance. And so look at the RSI right here. It bounced up, came back for a back test, and rallied up. So that's why you just have to be very, very careful with leverage positions. And if you plan on entering into leverage positions, it has to be with money that you can afford to lose, and you have to know how to set proper stop losses as well too, and have a risk management strategy. So looking at the XRP, the US dollar price chart on the hourly right now, we are coming into contact with this descending resistance. So one of two scenarios could happen here. In my opinion, I could be wrong here. We'll see how this plays out, but I'm going to explain to you how I prepare for both scenarios to take place regardless, and what I do to make money. Either way, no matter what happens, whether I'm wrong or whether I'm right, I make money either way. So whether you're wrong, whether you're right, you make money either way. So scenario one is we get rejected from this descending resistance and we chop within this range right here, holding support at roughly $2.20, which was support all the way back through this level right here that you can see where I'm circling on the price chart for 4 to 5 points of contact. It also acted as resistance right here on the 10th of December before that final liquidation, and then reclaiming it as support. So if we get rejected from this descending resistance, I would expect XRP to hold the support and chop sideways for a bit, and then to see another liquidation event to back test this zone of support and to disrespect this trend line that a lot of people think would hold, but I think it would liquidate a lot of leveraged traders. And then I would just expect XRP to work within this range and slowly climb back up, and then break out to the upside going into the second half of December. Because we are on the hourly chart, this is going to happen fast, guys. You can see where I'm playing this out. I mean, this breakout on the 16th, that's in like 5 days from right now. I'm not saying that it's going to happen exactly then because nobody knows, but I would expect the chart to look something along the lines of this, where people think that it's just going to break out and start making a new high right now. But I think we have more time to take out these levels right here, liquidate more long traders before we continue to the upside, and we would still maintain the uptrend, because realistically, as long as we hold $1.82, the uptrend is still intact here, and this zone right here of support and resistance. Ideally, we want to stay above $1.96, but even if we wick below that, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary. So if I just clear the chart right here and I pull up XRP compared to the past, because I did talk about what I was expecting to happen, compared all the way back to 2021 when we saw XRP rally up to 65 cents, sell off to 36 cents, consolidate within this region, and then break out. So what that looked like on the chart that I was kind of wrong about, but we don't have to be right every single time. Again, I'll share with you how you make money, whether you're right or wrong. But there was this support right here for XRP to hold. And as you can see, it broke below support, came back up to backtest it, liquidation down here, and then reclaimed support. So it looked pretty similar to what we saw happen back here with this support for XRP, where we saw this ABC corrective wave, where we saw wave A here, wave B bounce up, and wave C for this wick down here. That looked pretty similar to what we saw on the right hand side of the screen, where we see A wave right here, B wave bounce up, and then C wave right here. However, on the right hand side of the screen, this is the hourly chart. On the left hand side of the screen, this is the daily chart. So if I were to switch the hourly to the daily to be on the same time frames here and expand this out, if we don't see this $2.20 support hold where these candle bodies closed from the 5th of December to the 6th of December, also from the 9th of December through the 10th of December, and XRP does not reclaim this descending resistance right here, then it could get pretty nasty and shake a lot of people out, and it could look something like what you see on the left-hand side of the screen for a deeper ABC corrective wave, where it could look something like this, where this is wave A right here, wave B is the bounce up, and this might not be wave C. Wave C could potentially be all the way down here to backtest $1.55 before we do something like this on the left-hand side of the screen to work our way on out of here, where if Bitcoin does not break out, which I'll get into the price chart in a little bit, and we see the C wave down here, and then we have to work our way through this region before finally breaking the descending resistance going into Christmas time, because as you can see on the daily chart, now we're looking around December 25th, December 26th as we go into January. If the chart were to look something like this, to potentially come back down and back test this zone as support, that's definitely in the realm of possibilities here. That's why I want to err you guys on the side of caution if you are entering into leverage positions to set proper stop losses so you can hedge your risk in case we see a flash liquidation event down here. And it takes a little bit longer for XRP to work out of these levels before finally clearing this descending resistance. Because if we were to measure from the breakout for XRP on this candle wick on the 1st of February to where how long it took to finally break it, it took about 63 days after that breakout for XRP from post lawsuit news dropping breakout. Because as you guys know, if I just scroll over here on the left hand side of the screen, when the lawsuit news hit in December of 2020, XRP's price dropped from like 60 cents all the way down to 16 cents, and it had to work its way on out of there. So that took an extra couple months to break through this range of consolidation here. And so with XRP breaking out all the way up here on the 2nd of December, if we were to measure out 30 days, that takes us to the 1st of January. If we were to measure out 60 days and just zoom out even more, that's the 31st of January. And I know that's not what a lot of people want to hear. You know, they just want the price chart to just go up right away. But my goal is to set proper expectations for you guys and just talk about the facts here and also different scenarios that could play out so you could get the best possible entry point if you are planning on holding XRP for the long term. Because if we wick down within this level right here and do what we saw similar all the way back here and then just work through this range to bounce off of this support before we finally break out and pass the high, because XRP did rally very, very quickly, guys. So consolidation like this on the more macro over the course of 60 days to come back down potentially to $1.50, I wouldn't be surprised at all. In fact, I wouldn't even be mad. I wouldn't even be scared. I would not be worried one bit. 0%. And the reason why is because there's a portion of my portfolio that is just spot positions where I'm just holding long term. I accumulated XRP all the way down here. Now, I understand that there are new people entering the market every single day wondering what to do right now that didn't buy all the way back here, 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 that didn't buy all the way back here when XRP was below 60 to 50 cents, that quite possibly bought the exact top and are now sitting on a loss because they didn't subscribe to the channel 2 years ago and haven't been watching our daily videos. So I don't recommend FOMOing into massive green candles and massive rallies for any projects, no matter how strong the utility is or how strong the fundamentals are, because that's just how you get wrecked and that's not how you make the most amount of money. Investing is very, very simple. You buy low, you sell high. So for me to accumulate more XRP on a spot position, what I would personally want to see is I would want to see XRP come down to take out these levels. Now, if that doesn't happen, and let me just move this chart, trace up right here, and we see XRP hold this support and it breaks this descending resistance and sees a rebound off of it like this, then yeah, I wouldn't be able to get an entry point all the way down here. But that's no problem because like I said, I accumulated XRP underneath 60 and 50 cents. And even a portion of my XRP was accumulated years and years and years ago at like 20 cents. So I'm not stressing about that because I hold enough XRP. But I do not buy when stuff is relatively high. Even if XRP goes to 10, 15, 20, $30, I'm fine with that. There's plenty of other opportunities in the space. And our research team is going to be sharing those with you guys inside of Altcoin Pro University. Now, quick reminder, this price is going to go from $97 a month to $197 a month come January 1st. So in about 20 days, and then from $970 a year to $1,970 a year, because we want to make sure that we're able to keep this exclusive enough to provide the best quality information and the best quality support for you guys. So if you take advantage of this in the next 20 days, if you haven't pulled the trigger yet, you're going to be grandfathered in at this price. If you guys have already gotten started for $97 a month or $970 a year, you're grandfathered in at that price. But come January 1st, everyone else is going to have to pay $197 a month. So the worst case scenario is if you lock in this price right now, you're grandfathered in. If it's not for you after 30 days, within the first 30 days actually. So if you take 29 days and you cancel your membership and you want a refund, we'll honor that. There's no contracts, no long-term commitments. There's literally no risk here. So the worst case scenario is literally that you learn something new and it's just not the right thing for you. That's fine. Best case scenario is everything that's included actually works for you. You actually learn some new skills. You get some value in the post. You connect with our community. You chat with other members. You get your questions answered. That's the most important thing because the YouTube comment section, there's a lot of spammers. There's a lot of impersonators. We're doing our best to clean up the comment box below. So it's a lot more personal in the back end there inside of the community section for you to be able to chat with other members, post your questions, have our research team answer them, along with other community members in Wales that are really knowledgeable about the crypto market. So for those of you guys in Altcoin Pro University that are responding to other members, I greatly appreciate you guys for doing that. We have a leaderboard as well back here as well too, which I think is really cool, where we have 9 different levels based on how much you engage in the community, how active you really are. Level 1's normie. Then we got Jeets, Shrimps, Hodlers, Based, Whales, Shark, Degens, and Gigabrain. So because we launched November 10th, like a month ago, no one's a Gigabrain or a Degen yet, but we have 1% as Sharks, Whales, and then the majority members are normies right now. So our goal is to graduate you from a normie to a Gigabrain and to set the gold standard in crypto education. So if you're ready to become a crypto millionaire, check out this 26-minute video that I made highlighting everything that you're gonna get and become one of the first 1,000 founding members this month to get grandfathered in at the best pricing, and also get these 2 bonuses right here when you upgrade to annual, and you're going to save $194 per year as well too. Because let's say that XRP does break below the support. Let's say that happens, okay? That's going to spook a lot of people, and they're going to be like, hey, glad I didn't buy XRP. And people are going to be posting all over Twitter, all over social media, if XRP does wick down within this level right here for a C corrective wave, similar to what happened all the way back here. That level of correction for XRP, even if we were to measure from the 1st of February wick, was a 50% pullback. So if we measure from the high on the right-hand side of the screen for XRP, what a 50% pullback would look like, that would bring it down to about $1.44. So to see something like that happen after we broke out from a long period of consolidation would not be out of the ordinary, because even if I zoom out on the right-hand side of the screen, the $1.50 to $1.40 region, even closer to $1.40 to like $1.30, is actually where the resistance was at the complacency stage high right here that XRP got rejected from multiple times, all the way back in August of 2021 and then in November of 2021, before really going into the bear market sell-off to the bottom. So if we see XRP do a steep pullback like that and take a little bit longer to break out in 2025, the best thing that you can possibly do to make money regardless is have the strongest diversification strategy. And so that's why our research team is posting our altcoin picks inside the community section right here. So when you click the link below, you get started. At the top, you're going to see all these options right here for announcement, general discussion, market updates, DeFi yield picks, airdrop picks, crypto news. You're also going to see altcoin picks. When you click that, you're going to see posts like this, 10 altcoins to have on your radar this cycle. A lot of them are on the verge of a massive breakout right now with Bitcoin. We have tutorials on how to trade altcoins on chain, so check that out. I know you guys are going to love it. Now, Anthony Pompliano went on Fox and just destroyed this reporter when they said that Bitcoin is way too volatile to call it a savings account.
The volatility on this thing is way too high for anybody to call that a savings account. I mean, you may like it, but I think that's a bridge too far right now, isn't it?
Over the last 30 years, the US dollar has lost 50% of its purchasing power. So in my lifetime, $1 now buys you 50% or 50 cents of service and goods. And so when you think about that, the most volatile asset that most people hold is the dollar, and they're on the wrong side of volatility. Bitcoin, on the other hand, over a long period of time appreciates. And so the best statistic to look at this is in 2016, the average median home was about $380,000. I'm sorry, $280,000. Today it's over $400,000.
Right.
So 50% increase in the average home in America. During that same 8-year period, it used to cost 664 Bitcoin to buy that home. Today it costs 6 Bitcoin. It has been a 99% reduction in the cost of a home in America if you held Bitcoin. And so another way to think about that is if you had about $5,000 of Bitcoin in 2016, today it could buy you a house.
So short-term volatility is the price that you pay for long-term opportunity, because the USDebtClock.org has been posting some shocking facts and stats about the US dollar. The Fed fiat dollar takes a huge hit in the last 4 years and lost 20% of its value. So yes, crypto will fluctuate 20, 30, 40% over the course of like a few days or a few weeks in the markets, which is called short-term volatility. But when you look at the long term, the US dollar, far more volatile, has lost way more of its spending power because of the unlimited monetary print orders, what the Fed in the Treasury and M2 is doing by increasing the money supply. So when something has no cap on it, then over time, it will lose its value because there's no scarcity there. It's simple supply and demand. It's simple economics. So while everyone was scared with the sell-off, BlackRock one of the largest companies that funds the media. And it's funny because like with BlackRock being a major shareholder and investor in all these big media companies and these media companies bashing crypto, but yet BlackRock is secretly behind the scenes buying now 296 million of Bitcoin. And that was yesterday. What should that tell you? Don't watch what they say. Don't watch squawk boxers that are just going to push some fear, uncertainty, and doubt into your ear and say, this thing is way too volatile. I don't trust this thing. But then you see Larry Fink and BlackRock, it's worth over $10 trillion as a company, buying up Bitcoin. Some news anchor that's making six figures or less, their opinion is irrelevant. The opinion of billionaires in trillion-dollar companies is what we want to watch. So if we look at this chart right here on the 2020 election, what happened with Bitcoin breaking upwards of 19,500, selling off by November 26th, coming back up to retest the high for people think that a breakout was going to happen. Price manipulation to bring it back down within this range. And then December 9th and 11th, we saw this double bottom, and then we saw this trend reversal right here from after that manipulation point to then consolidate the high. And finally, when it did break through, it didn't even back test it. It just consolidated at this $19,500 range and then just broke out all the way upwards of 24,000 in 1, 2, 3, 4 candle bodies on the 8-hour chart. And so December 9th through December 11th for Bitcoin right now. If we look at it on the weekly chart, this is what we're going through here compared to 2020. Very similar, interesting. You can see in the white candles, these are the bullish candles. The red candles right here, these are the bearish candles. And so if I just pull this up on the actual trading view chart, right here, it looks like we're breaking out upwards of $101,000 on the weekly candle. This will close by the 16th of December. So technically we still got like 5 days left in this weekly candle. So by like next Monday, we're going to see this close. And then look at what happened in the past when we saw this candle body close. That following week, the price absolutely exploded for Bitcoin. Like I just showed you on the chart, upwards of 24,000. And then after that, we were off to the races for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, upwards of $42,000, Bitcoin 2x. So for Bitcoin to 2x from here, I don't think that's going to happen. I think maybe the next move up for Bitcoin is like 120-ish thousand, maybe $150,000. We'll see how high that pushes Bitcoin. But if we look at the relative strength index on where we are on the weekly compared to the past, we're at 77. Now, most people think that just because we're at 77, it means we're overbought and we have to come down. However, if I just circle this on the chart right here, and I circle on the left-hand side of the screen where we were at this exact same period right here, roughly around the 11th of December on the weekly candles right here when we closed bearish, the RSI closed at around 80. And then the following month, look what happened to the RSI. It exploded upwards of 94. Because we're at 77, that's actually not a bad sign for Bitcoin. As long as we just continuously hold this ascending support where these candles wicked at right here, and we don't just see something drastic happen within the next 5 to 7 days for Bitcoin to break below the support and do something like this and close below $91,000 or like 92 right around here, as long as we see this hold, then I think we could see a massive move for Bitcoin to breach well above $100,000 and go into price discovery and make this decisive move above 109, 110K. That would really give mainstream media, retail, the green light to start pumping Bitcoin up for weeks on end going into the January 20th inauguration day. And then I would potentially expect there to be, maybe a sell the news event on January 10th. Sorry, I meant to say January 20th, which would be about 42 days from right now. So we could see 42 days of up for Bitcoin, an amazing Christmas, and then leading into January 20th when Trump takes office, then a sell the news event on it or slightly after that for a little consolidation period, similar to what we saw happen back here for Bitcoin. That happened from January 4th to January 18th. So we could see a sell-off going into inauguration after Bitcoin makes this massive moves up on the weekly candle, depending on how high it goes, and then for us to pull back in the short term and consolidate before forming some type of blow off top in 2025. Whether we form an early cycle high, no matter what, there's going to be pullbacks along the way up. So just expect it to be volatile on the way up. But for now, the chart's looking good. The RSI is looking very similar to what happened from the 7th of December all the way up here to January before it peaked out. And then we started forming the bearish divergences where we started to see lower highs on the relative strength index, where we were forming the higher highs on the price chart for the top out at $63,000. And then we saw the sell in May go away concept take place. I would expect there to be something similar, a summer lull for the crypto market if we extend beyond March of 2025 and we go into April, May for us to see some type of summer lull for Bitcoin, a much deeper correction correction, and then for us to form some type of peak between September to November, December 2025, and then the bear market kicks in. So with Bitcoin sitting at $100,000, the risk to reward ratio for Bitcoin right now to buy it and have Bitcoin go to 120K, that's only 20% of on your income. So this is why the altcoin market is more appealing right now. So like Ripple and XRP still is off from its all-time high, where Bitcoin is above its all-time high by like $40,000 from the last bull run. So with Ripple, there's so many bullish catalysts that are coming for XRP that is causing people to have some false expectations here, where people think RLUSD is going to send XRP to the moon immediately. I thought this was a great post from Vincent Van Code saying RLUSD approval has pumped the price up from $1.90 to $2.35. And this is purely a speculative pump and not one driven by fundamentals because it hasn't been listed yet. So people are buying the rumors and potentially selling the news when it finally does get listed. And so that's why I say err on the side of caution right now for XRP, because if that is a sell the news event and we don't see any other bullish news coming for Ripple relatively soon, then what that would look like on the daily RSI, because look guys, on the RSI right here for XRP on that peak, it was at 94 right here. So a sell-off would give the RSI enough time to reset and come all the way back down to 50, maybe even below 50 if we see a pullback. Now, that's why you want to join Altcoin Pro University to make money regardless of whatever happens, whether XRP goes up or down, because there's certain altcoin narratives that are going to rise with Bitcoin and outperform XRP if a pullback happens. And we'll keep you guys posted on that. But the real pump for XRP will happen when the automated market maker and liquidity pools are set up and people realize they can earn 5% APY on chain with zero counterparty risk. Then you will see serious money flow into the XRP ledger, because if someone's going to hold USDC or USDT to earn a 4 to 5% APY, imagine what happens when they can do that on the XRP ledger through RLUSD, the liquidity pools. Exchanges will want to capitalize on this, and so they will provide RLUSD staking while they directly lock XRP on the XRP ledger and make a percentage of returns to attract users to their platform. That news alone will explode XRP. So people will look to swap USDT to RLUSD and transferring them to their self-custody wallets. This allows them to use RLUSD to buy XRP tokens, etc., using the decentralized exchange. And of course, buying liquidity pool tokens to make 5 to 6% returns on their tokens, buying using both XRP to RLUSD is better than just putting one or the other. So what this will do is raise the demand for XRP in order of magnitude as on exchange asks dwindle down. Market makers will struggle with price. Bots then suppress price, will struggle to keep prices at bay. So he's expecting this to happen from now until the end of February. Now here's an interview with Brad Garlinghouse talking about the expectation for exchanges to delist Tether potentially December 13th. Coinbase is expected to be among the first as Ripple announces approval of RLUSD by New York.
So there's talks of stablecoin legislation around the corner in the United States. Do you think it's going to have a similar shakeup like it did, well, the EU regulations did, where Tether may lose some share here and that'll be beneficial for RLUSD?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it'd be beneficial for all stablecoins that are compliance first, that take a regulatory first, a front foot towards regulation. I don't think RLUSD would be one example of that I think will do well, but not the only one. So I do think we will get legislation. Hard to know exactly when, but hopefully sometime the next year, given the election. It's hard to make predictions around that.
So what this will be is a great stablecoin migration. So when the crypto winter of regulation hits the stablecoin market, well, USDT is like a house of cards waiting to collapse. So Ripple's primary goal has been to do things compliantly. And now that they got the green light for their stablecoin, very similar to what happened with the ISO projects, guys, with the HBAR pump, XDC pump, Algorand pump, XLM pump, XRP pump, which I called beforehand. I shared that with you guys. So you should be making a lot of money. If you guys have made that money this far, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to share some more information with you guys that I see happen in the markets. And if we're right, we all make money together. The next biggest move is the stablecoin regulation that's going to come. And so with Tether's market cap, if you go to coinmarketcap.com and you look right here, that is $138 billion in USDT that is going to be migrating. That's like all the birds that are in northern climates that are warm in the summer. Like I'm from Idaho, it gets between 70 degrees to like 110 degrees during the summer. And during the winter, it's like 0 degrees, sometimes below 0 to 30 degrees on average with no sun. And so we get all sorts of crazy climates up there. Whereas in like Miami, you know, it's warm relatively all year long. And in the winter, it gets down to like 50 degrees. So I'm still walking around with like short sleeve shirt, you know, board shorts, and everyone's got jackets out here. I'm like, dude, I'm from Idaho. I don't get cold in 50-degree weather. It's going to take an ice age to freeze me out of here. But the example here is when the migration takes place, birds leave colder climates and they go to warmer climates. So the crypto winter is coming to the stablecoin market. And so the birds, AKA the investors or the snowbirds that are holding their money in stablecoins right now, and they're not holding it in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, where are they going to migrate their USDTs to? They're going to migrate it to compliant stablecoins. That's why we saw the ISO pump. You know, it was a migration from projects that didn't really have that much utility, that aren't going to be a part of the new financial system, to the projects that are. And that's why XRP is the third largest cryptocurrency in the world. It's the second largest altcoin, and it's probably going to pass Ethereum. I wouldn't be surprised. It's not that far behind it. Ethereum's at $459 billion. XRP is at $140 billion. When XRP sees all this stuff take place and we see a migration from USDT, a good chunk of that market cap, it's not going to happen right away. It's going to take some time. It's like just like it takes time for the birds to fly across every single state and finally land in Florida and crap all over everyone's cars. There's going to be a lot of crap flying out the sky, and you know, there might be some pullbacks here and there, some shakeouts in the market where Tether dropping would affect Bitcoin, which would affect XRP. So people are like, wait, I thought that meant the price is going to go up, when they don't realize that shakeouts like that cause scares in the market, and then sometimes that affects the price of XRP to come down in the short term. But just like I said at the beginning of this video, short-term volatility is the price that you pay for long-term opportunity. So a black swan event to happen for Tether, long-term is good, because that just means that $138 billion in market cap has to flow somewhere, which would flow into compliant stablecoins and compliant projects like XRP. But in the short term, a black swan event would cause a massive shakeout in the market and a sell-off, which is a better opportunity to buy the dip and back up the truck. Not financial advice, because I'm not a financial advisor. These videos are purely for education and informational purposes only. So you should do your own research. I'm not telling you to buy XRP. I'm not telling you to sell XRP. I'm just sharing facts, and I'm going to share a part of my opinion here and what I see happening in the future. And the gain that has happened for XRP right now is nothing yet. Listen to what Brad Garlinghouse said.
I'm very excited about what the future holds. I'll point out, you were saying that XRP is up 70+%. Since election day, the best performing crypto assets are all U.S. companies or U.S. technologies. This shouldn't be a surprise. The United States SEC has been manipulating and putting pressure on these U.S. companies, U.S. technologies, and now that pressure comes off and they explode upwards. So we shouldn't be surprised by that.
So for people that are shocked with that XRP breakout, they really don't understand anything about crypto, or they just didn't pay attention to what Donald Trump said before election with his crypto campaign, saying he's going to be making America the crypto capital of the world, starting with Bitcoin and creating a Bitcoin reserve. And for him to propose things like no capital gains tax for US-based crypto companies is massive news. Now, whether that happens or not, we'll see. Obviously, you'd have to get that passed by like what, the House or the Senate or something like that. But either way, that news, super bullish, because Donald Trump, if he's a man of his word, and he actually does that after he gets inaugurated, then 2025 is going to be incredible. So this is one of the easiest plays and easiest financial decisions for my future, right? It's like, imagine for me, I'm like, if I'm in the early 2000s and I was old enough to have enough money to invest in like Apple and Microsoft, and I saw the internet really taking off like in the future, I'd be like, you know, it's stupid not to hold those companies. Right now, we are witnessing the equivalent of that in the banking space, guys, within SWIFT, within ACH wire transfers, the ISO standard. That's why this project saw that first initial pump up. I'm telling you, it's just the start. Now, yes, there will be pullbacks here and there, so just don't be shocked. But this big news from Uphold CEO Nancy Beaton, listen to what she just said.
On Uphold, we're anything to anything.
Okay.
So, you know, you're not going to be limited to certain pairs. You can take RLUSD to Bitcoin, Bitcoin to RLUSD. You could take RLUSD to gold. So on our platform, you can really trade anything to anything. So it makes it really easy for the user to get in and out of what they want.
Now, keyword there, really easy to get in and out of anything that you want to trade. Do you know how hard it is to get in and out of precious metals? I bought so much silver that to sell it, I now have to barter trade with these like silver and gold dealers, and they're only going to offer me melt price or spot price or whatever, and not what I paid on the premium. So I'm losing like a 5-6% premium charge, which is the craziest fee ever. Real estate, to sell my condo, it took forever. It took a few months because you got to find the buyer. They got to have enough money. The escrow's got to be set up. The agent has to negotiate the buyer and seller commission. And then you got to like move all of your furniture, hire a moving company. You got to find a place to live in the short term in between. And then like you got to decide what you're going to do if you're going to buy a new spot. Then you have to negotiate a deal with someone that you're buying from, or negotiate your last month's rent, your security deposit. Even just me explaining that, you've been through that. You're like, yep, 100%, he's right about that. Look how easy it is to go in and liquidate a position in your crypto portfolio. That's why it's more volatile, because someone can just go and sell, $1 million on a spot sell order, and then there's flash liquidations for leverage. But to be able to liquidate your money like that, that's why people love it. And so Wall Street is just going to be piling in over the next decade, guys, because they've already gotten their little Wolf of Wall Street little bumps off of the stock market, but little 5% gains and 10% gains for them isn't doing it anymore. They want the dirty, disgusting 100%. They want the 500%. They want the 10Xs. They want the 50Xs. They want to turn their millions of dollars into hundreds of millions to billions of dollars. And they know that the crypto market is where they're going to do that. So when we look at the XRP to the Bitcoin price chart, this just simply tracks XRP's performance to Bitcoin. And like I said, I talk about the facts. Regardless of my opinion, I'm holding some XRP for the long term. There is a little cautionary warning that I have for you right now in the short term because of where we are on the weekly relative strength index. We're at 80 right now. We breached all the way upwards of 88. Now in this red box at the bottom of the screen, this resistance you guys can see right here, I circled on the chart the last couple times that we did that on the breakout. The time right here was in November of 2014. If I zoom in, we saw XRP bottom out in comparison to Bitcoin on the 7th of July of 2014. Simultaneously, RSI was all the way down here around 20. So a great time to accumulate XRP and sell Bitcoin. So this chart, really easy to understand. When it is low, at these low points right here, that's when you get rid of your Bitcoin and you put it into XRP. Again, not financial advice. That's just like what the smartest people did. I'm just telling you what they did, not telling you what to do, because this point is past. This is 2014. Just a little history lesson here. Okay. So when the RSI was down here in oversold territory, the price chart was down here. Great time to accumulate XRP, because then XRP from July until December outperformed Bitcoin. Now, right here at this level, when XRP broke out, we saw the RSI come all the way up here and peak out at 90 on the 15th of December and peak out all the way up here. And then we saw it underperform in comparison to Bitcoin all the way down to another low where the RSI was all the way back down here. Now, the second time that this took place, what we saw happen here was a bearish divergence on the RSI. So the RSI broke all the way up here, outperformed Bitcoin on that first initial rally back in March of 2017 and rallied all the way up. And then we saw a pullback in comparison to Bitcoin, along with the XRP, the US dollar price chart, of about 60%. So this was a massive pullback. It allowed the RSI to come off of this high of 90, come all the way down here, 56. And then we saw another rally up to put in a lower high at like 86. So when we see a lower high on the price chart, on the indicator, and a higher high in the price chart, it's what's called a bearish divergence. And so eventually that momentum shifts from, bullish on the price chart, massive parabolic blow off tops, to reversals to the downside, and for the RSI to reset. So one of two things is going to happen here, okay? Because the RSI, if I zoom in here on the indicator and also on the XRP to the Bitcoin price chart, with this recent massive rally up that took place, we saw the RSI's current peak is at 89 right here. So if we don't break out and go higher right here over the next week or two for XRP, and we see the RSI come back down to 70 or below 70, it could be like 2017, where we see another bounce up for the RSI and putting in a lower high before going back down closer to like 20 or below 50 or somewhere around there. And what that would look like is a short-term temporary pullback and chop for the XRP, the Bitcoin price chart, while Bitcoin breaks out upwards of $100,000, $115,000, $120,000. It doesn't necessarily mean that XRP's price sells off that deep. Like XRP doesn't have to come back down to $1.50, $1.40 for this to happen. It just means that Bitcoin would drastically need to outperform XRP's price action. If XRP goes sideways and Bitcoin goes up, that could look like XRP, the Bitcoin price chart, coming down, consolidating and chopping, and then firing to the upside when XRP sees that slingshot shake and bake effect. Because as more liquidity flows into Bitcoin, XRP goes sideways, Bitcoin goes up, right? So if I'm moving this way, if Bitcoin's going up and XRP is going sideways, then when Bitcoin corrects, that correction brings liquidity out of the market to then, boom, slingshot XRP and draft it off of Bitcoin's lead. And so it creates like this wind tunnel of liquidity for XRP to get in that draft, like Talladega Nights or like NASCAR, right? And then slingshot from behind Bitcoin to pass something like Ethereum. And that's where XRP would break out. Otherwise, it would be scenario 2, which would be the worst possible scenario. And we're at the peak right now, and we literally just come down, which I don't see that happening. I would be very, very shocked actually because of all the bullish news that I just shared with you guys of what's coming in the pipeline, especially for the ISO standard coming at the end of 2025. We have all of 2025 to look forward to that, even leading until March. So I think the most likely case scenario is a little reset on the relative strength index to come back down a little bit further. Maybe that's a further pullback for XRP to Bitcoin, whether that means XRP goes sideways or down in the short term. I personally am not accumulating XRP because of this right now. I'm going to be waiting for a little bit deeper of a pullback back down within this range, this red box right here on the price chart, because as you guys can see, it acted as support all the way back here on the 2nd of August of 2021 from the 25th of October all the way to the February, even all the way back here in June, all the way back here in September, all the way back here in April, all the way back here in July, and then all the way back here in November before selling off down to reset the RSI completely for the bear market bottom. The best time to accumulate XRP, when I was talking about it and I was explaining how this was going to happen, I'm like, probably going to bounce up, then we're going to see one final low, and then we're going to rocket on out of here. Now, the most likely scenario is a pullback, which is normal, and then an explosion to the upside to go and form some sort of bearish divergence similar to what we saw all the way back here before the RSI resets in a bear market. And then by the time like November comes around of 2025, watch guys, you're gonna be like, how did he know this? Well, I study the markets every single day, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I've been right thus far. It's gonna be cool to see how this plays out, whether I'm right or wrong. I don't care. Gonna make money either way, like I told you guys. So there's never financial advice. I just love making these predictions and then just seeing what happens here. So because this zone acted as very strong support right here for roughly 840 days, I would expect it to potentially come back within this range. Also, there's a very strong range of resistance right here that it wicked off of and it got rejected from since the 2nd of August right here for XRP to Bitcoin. So anything that happens within this zone right here is just the consolidation phase right now for XRP before it blasts through the resistance. And then the next stop for it is all the way up here at these levels, guys. Whether it comes up to the complacency stage of October of 2018 or breaches that and just blows the all-time high out of the water, that's the next stop for XRP and for us to peak out compared to Bitcoin. And depending on how high we go, then we see a bear market take place and for us to crash back down. So we do not sell XRP down here at lows, unless you're an idiot, right? There's plenty of idiots out there. You know, I used to be an idiot because I didn't look at this stuff and I didn't subscribe to the Bull Runners channel. And then I subscribed to the channel and I even started making videos to help educate you guys on this stuff because we sell up here. That's when we sell, when all the idiots are buying. And then when all the idiots are selling, we're buying their bags, just like institutions. BlackRock was front running everyone getting ready for this rally, buying up Bitcoin from like $20,000 to $50,000, and they're still buying Bitcoin. If BlackRock is still buying Bitcoin at $100,000 and Michael Saylor, who's worth multi-billions, is still buying Bitcoin at $100,000, what does that tell you about where Bitcoin's going to go? It's going to go higher. So if that causes a pullback in the XRP to the Bitcoin price chart, where XRP underperforms Bitcoin in the short term and we just chop within this range right here, then that's a great sign to continue accumulating what? XRP. Because since the 11th of November, XRP has drastically outperformed Bitcoin by about 370%. So it is a fact that doing a 4x for XRP in comparison to Bitcoin was a very smart trade. Now, if you want to make even smarter trades, then join Altcoin Pro University right now. Click the link in the description below to see what other altcoins have that explosive potential and are going to outperform Bitcoin over the next 6 to 12 months. For example,
our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University through the link below. And although we make no guarantees because crypto is definitely risky, guys, this is only $97 a month or $970 a year. If you want to save $194, getting 2 months for free and unlock some exclusive bonuses, just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers to help you become the first millionaire in your family tree. If that's a goal of yours, our goal is to help 1,000 members set their portfolio up for life this month. And you can get started through the link in the description below right now, or you can go to bullrunners.com to take advantage of the bonuses we're giving you before they expire. Everyone is loving the community. They're loving the education. They're getting access to real-time altcoin picks first before we ever make videos about them. So click the link in the description below, watch the video, and I'll see you on the inside.